Wow, Streamlabs. Wow. Thanks. Thanks. Great. That's always nice. Fucking convenient. That's always goddamn convenient. No. Just gonna do this really quick. Oh my fucking... Oh my god. Dude, this phone's being... Internet... Technology no likey. I'm trying to chat in this. Hold on. Fucking technology no likey me. Technology no likey. That's what I get for fucking attempting to just like goddamn like send a meme to the boys on the group chat. That's what I get apparently. What the fuck? Why is there always something, dude? There's always something. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on. Didn't even get a chance to even react to the other video yet. Like, motherfucker. At least, you know, I suppose, you know, that means we were just like, bloop. Got punished like the god who have humans fire. Dude, I got punished, man. Dude, I was burned at the stake. I was burnt at the stake, dude. My phone literally had an aneurysm and just could not cooperate, and then Streamlabs decided it had an aneurysm as well, and it decided not to cooperate. And yeah, I just wish it would just go back to the fucking stream that I was just doing instead of starting a new one. You know, for the meme you are sharing, you shall be smitten, smoten, and tortured. Yeah, I guess so. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Hey, fucking yeah, man. Well, we were already stun locking on this video anyway, because Cori Bush apparently got, like, fucking criminal investigation shit going on, I guess. So, yeah, that. Anyway. Prometheus, that was his name. Prometheus.
We got some big news that just dropped the other day, y'all. Apparently, squad member and Justice Democrat Representative Cori Bush is under investigation by the Department of Justice. It's a criminal investigation. So let me walk you through this. This is an article in NPR here. They say Representative Cori Bush is under investigation after hiring husband as security.
Wait, is that it? Who gives a fuck? Oh, is it like, a conflict of interest or something? If he works as security, then what's the problem? Like, I mean, you know, it's okay. Is this really a problem?
Representative Cori Bush confirmed Tuesday that the Department of Justice is investigating her campaign spending
on illegal. I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll find out.
Security services. Quote, since before I was sworn into office, I have endured relentless threats to my physical safety and life, Bush said in remarks on the steps of the U.S. Capitol. As a rank-and-file member of Congress, I am not entitled to personal protection by the House, and instead had used campaign funds as permissible to retain security services. Bush says she is fully cooperating. The Justice Department declined to comment. The St. Louis Democrat says she retained her now husband as part of her security team and claims he is able to provide at or below market rate. Congressional ethics rules for members of the House of Representatives permit family members to be paid from campaign funds for, quote, bona fide services, so long as the payments do not exceed fair market value. In addition to the Justice Department investigation, Bush says the Federal Election Commission and the House Committee on Ethics are also reviewing the matter. According to Bush, the Office of Congressional Ethics, staffed by career government employees, found no evidence of wrongdoing in an investigation last year and voted unanimously to dismiss the case.
Her husband already works security. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like they met each other while he happened to be working security for her before she got elected, from what it sounds like. Which, yeah, good for them. But, like, I mean, you know, so I don't see the issue, really. And it sounds like it was even dismissed unanimously as a case, you know, even at one point. So, I mean, honestly, it just kind of seems like it's just a bullshit story.
Interesting. The investigation first came to light on Monday when the House clerk publicly informed lawmakers of a subpoena received by House Sergeant at Arms. Security concerns are front of mind for many lawmakers after January 6th. The Capitol Police investigated more than 8,000 threats against lawmakers, up from roughly 5,200 in 2018. Then, of course, they go on to bring up Paul Pelosi and how he was attacked. So, look, that's the gist of what's going on here. She's under criminal investigation for using funds for personal security. And the only sketchy part of it is that her husband was hired to do the security. Now, to be fair, he was involved in security beforehand anyway. So, in a sense, you could argue it's reasonable that if her husband specializes in this, why not hire her husband? Now, to me, the big thing is going to be, is it true that he was hired at or below fair market value? Because if that's true, then I agree with the House Ethics Committee that looked into this and said, there's no wrongdoing here. We can't go after her.
Which the whole idea is that it would be criminal intent if it exceeded market value. Which, it's implied that it didn't. So, what's the problem here?
Because look, as much as politicians across the aisle get violent threats, for sure.
You know, honestly, I kind of love how, like, you know, a progressive like Cory Bush will get targeted for criminal investigations, but like 99% of politicians don't get, you know, investigated for their criminal wrongdoings and shit that they blatantly and overtly do. You gotta love that. You gotta love the double standard with that, don't you?
The largest number of threats, and potentially the worst kind of threats, are being directed at the so-called far left, at the Justice Democrats, at the people who are loud and proud.
Do you think they're polite? You about to feel real secure there, baby. I'm about to secure you. Make sure you're detained for proper search and seizure there, baby. Oh my god, you know, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're like, you know. Let's see if we can look at a thumbnail of, oh god, not them. Here, maybe we just look up secular talk. Maybe the video will pop up. I guess not. Well, no, I guess not. Well, it's gonna be kind of too tiny. Maybe in here? No? I guess not. Or fuck. God, I love this fucking video thumbnails, dude. Where is it? Let me look at her. I know it's kind of tiny, but... I don't know. If anything, she seems like she'll be like, you know, doing some security detail on him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. They would have a point. That fund shouldn't necessarily be going towards this. Well, I mean, if there was money, you know, proven to be going into those type of fucking things. And you know what? Honestly, politicians are using money for things like that. I don't really care.
About being on the left, about being left-wing, right? So that's the big thing to me. If they do an investigation and they find out, actually, you're paying him like twice what he should be paid, like you're doubling his pay or something. In that case, it's like, you just can't do that. You can't do that because you're just effectively stealing at that point, right? Right. But again, if it's at or below market rate, I agree with the previous conclusion that nothing here is wrong. And by the way, we will find out in the course of this investigation. We will find out just how much he got paid and if it's acceptable, etc. And as long as they follow the rules, I see no issue here. But let's get to the more important point, which is why now?
And did he dip his wick?
Why is this happening now? Why is this coming out today? Guys, the answer is very simple. And this might sound...
You know what? Let's take a guess. Let's take like a guess on the fucking bingo card here. Let's take a guess on like the roulette table of like the different numbers that would be Kyle Kalinski's points that he might throw out. What do you think it might be? Because she's pretty like adamant about the whole like ceasefire shit, right? Like she's a pretty big vocal proponent about that, right? Like I know Talib and Omar are for sure. I know AOC has been pretty vocal about it too. Not as much, but it has as well. Like I know there are at least some politicians. I'm pretty sure she is one of them as well, right? Like, because if it's not that, then I mean, at the very minimal, probably because she's black. I mean, frankly, at the very minimal, that's definitely going to be on there. But I don't know if Kyle's going to mention that specifically. So I'm wondering what else could it be? And I'm wondering if it has to do with like the Israel-Palestine issue. Merits the third. She's a chick. So wait, this is the husband? God damn. You know, honestly, he's a fucking like sexy looking dude. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. The trench coat, turtleneck, fucking fit going on right there. Dude, I respect. And dude, that like dude, if this is Cori Bush's hubby, dude, like hubba hubba, hello. I'm kind of getting rizzed up, with the fit and everything. I'm kind of being like, ooh la la over this guy. I mean, like, goddamn. This guy's a good looking fucking dude, bro. I mean, so, and Cori is a good looking woman too, so like, hey, dude, fucking good looking couple, I will say. Fucking mad respect.
Conspiratorial, but it is.
There's something about black guys and turtlenecks that just works. Trench coat, turtleneck fit. It's not just a turtleneck, but it's also the turtleneck trench coat combo. It's one thing with just turtleneck, but when you got like a trench coat, like the fucking big fat fucking like collar combo going on, that's a fit. Like that's a fit for anybody. But yeah, there is something about black guys, especially that fit just fucking rocks, dude. I mean, especially if you throw on a hat on there. Like, throw on a fucking Stetson or some shit. Like, oh, dude, you're getting some extra shit going on right there. I don't want to be the name of the moment, but I don't know what it would be about. Environmentalism. Maybe. Possibly.
Incredibly convinced that this is the reality. They are going after all of the pro-Palestine Democrats.
Hey, my guess was kind of right. And because of AIPAC's, like, insane, like, endless money spending and shit, yeah, this makes sense. And, and also, like, on top of that, just, like, Israel has a very strong, tight, like, fucking leash on, like, a lot of politicians in American government, just period. Like, especially with different, PACs like AIPAC and other organizations as well. Like, I mean, and have conditioned, their justification for generations, frankly. I mean, it's been like a long time fucking, building up of this type of idea. So what is Black Guys and Turtlenecks founded by a white guy about? The cause. That's it. The cause.
By the way, Daily Beast just did a hit job the other day on Jamal Bowman. Because he wrote a poem when he was a high school principal that sort of made vague allusions to 9/11 conspiracy theories. They wrote a...
Really? Interesting. Cool. I mean, like, alright. Dude, Jamal Bowman sounds kind of base. I kind of want to read those poems now. What was his edgy teenage, high school years like? I want to read them. I want to read those.
Hit piece about that. So it's not a.
I love how they're making hit pieces about like some like Jamal Bowman's like high school like edgelord years. Like, I mean, dude, you could literally do a hit piece on everybody, when it comes to their high school edgelord years. I mean, everyone was an edgelord toxic motherfucker back in the day. I mean, like, when it comes to high school, like, give me a break. I mean, I was. You can easily roast my ass to 8 cajillion ways till Sunday and the next Sunday, with, like, the fucking shit, that, I was cringe as fuck with in high school. I was a cringy ass little dipshit. Like, so, I mean, like, bruh. Like, that's not a hit piece. That's just like, making the roast of the year award ceremony for your ass or some shit at that point. It's like, come on. That's not even a hit piece to me. It's like when they try to get Bernie because he wrote, like, some sexual, like, writings in college once. It's like, I mean, it's like this, it's kind of the same equivalent. It's like, who gives a fuck? Like, yeah, he was, like, 19 or 20, and he wrote some, like, some little weird roleplay, like, write essay thing at one point. Oh, no, like, we haven't all done that before. It's like, give me a break, dude. It's just so silly. It's so fucking silly. I mean, it's like, it kind of shows that they have to kind of grasp at the straws to an extent to criticize these people, because if they have to go that far back and over stupid, weird shit like that, to target these people, like, they really don't got that much in the first place. They really don't. Like, yeah, like, I mean, because what real merit does, like, Jamal Bowman's high school poems have anything to do with what he is today? Like, who gives a shit? Like, who I was in high school is not the same kid who I am now. Like, when I was 16 is, I was a totally different person than, me being 26, okay? So, like, I mean, like, and Jamal Bowman's is older than me. So, I mean, it's like, what? Like, you grew up at a, in an earlier age of high school, and it's like, I'm sure it's more edgier and more, like, cringe, for his era just as much as it was for me. So what's the point here? It's like, give me a break. It's kind of how it feels with, like, Cori Bush here, too, a little bit. I mean, not, like, high school shit, but it kind of feels that way. It's like, oh, she might have, like, did favors for, the boyfriend at the time, but now hubby, Awww. It's like, it feels like high school drama shit. It's like, man, it's so fucking ridiculous. I chose when we were young, for example. I kept heads of dead squirrels in a shoebox under my bed. Okay, there might be some deeper issues here. Yeah, a little bit.
Nice. We're going to talk about this in a little bit. We have a scandal now involving Ilhan Omar, where the right is ruthlessly going after her. Wow, what a shock. We have Jamal Bowman, Cori Bush, Ilhan Omar. They're going to add Rashida Tlaib any minute now.
I'm actually surprised they haven't hit her yet, because she's literally a Palestinian American. Like, she's Palestinian, so I'm actually kind of shocked they haven't gotten after her yet over this. Like, because she's also been the most vocal advocate over these things, too. And also, I mean, AOC's been kind of hit about this type of shit, too, in times past already. So, I mean, she's going to be on chopping block as well any second now at this rate. If they don't do a John Fetterman, they're going to get chopped, basically.
After every single Democrat who is not sycophantically pro-Israel, they're gunning for them. They're gunning for them. It is not a coincidence that all of these people who are good on the issue of Gaza are being gunned for now. It is not a coincidence. And it's not, honestly, it's not even conspiratorial. We talk about this all the time. When we bring up the Saudi lobby and their massive power and how they get what they want because they spend big money in U.S. politics, everybody goes, yeah, of course. But it's the same for the Israel lobby. And to bring that up is not anti-Semitic. To bring that up is just describing corruption and bribery and money and politics.
Now, what is the common thread between these criticisms? I can't quite put my finger on it. Frankly, it's more like common threads. Because I'm thinking of multiple different possibilities. Because I think all of them are true. Because of their race and their background. Because they happen to be progressive and more left, at least in comparison to the rest of the fucking, government apparatus as it stands. And because they happen to, have a little bit more of a vocal opposition to the traditional status quo and its norms, especially when it comes to certain elements of foreign policy. Like, I mean, and also tend to be anti-Zionist more than not. Like, there tends to be a lot of various different threads that I think, tend to play a major role in that. I guess it all kind of comes down to the very common root of bigotry. But nonetheless, I mean, was your answer kind of pretty much somewhat, at least on par, or at least, in there somewhere? Because I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Nature of how it works. AIPAC, DMFI, the entire Israel lobby is colossal.
The turn somebody gets in the DNC election, it would be playing race card hard. Kinda. Well, all right. Well, close enough. And honestly, when it comes to the turn, yeah, I mean, I would too. I mean, because like, oh man, dude, she really needs to like get in politics somehow, like way more so than she already is. Like, as I mean, they hate the fuck out of her, and they mean Democratic Party and DNC and AIPAC and etc. Because like they don't want her getting anywhere near like some strong influential element of politics, because they don't want her voice to be on that fucking stage, because they know that she's an influential voice and she could change hearts and minds, because she's a very strong, charismatic, leader. Like, she really does have like the gumption of being a leader. Like, I mean, that's not really a critique, to the other, squad members, so to speak. But I mean, she really has like a lot more of those like leadership traits in comparison to the others.
Powerful. They pay members of both parties. They give campaign contributions to members of both parties, and that's why you get this incredible disconnect, where like 70 to 80% of the country wants a ceasefire, and it's only like, what, in total 20%, if that, of the politicians in DC want a ceasefire? How do you account for that massive gap between what the public wants and what we actually get? We know the answer. It is money in politics. Ilhan Omar said it's all about the Benjamins, talk about the Israel lobby. That is correct. That is correct. She was smeared as an anti-Semite for talking about political corruption. That's absurd that she was smeared like that. So it's not a surprise that right now is when they're going after Cori Bush. Now, my guess is she's going to be cleared, that this investigation is going to come to the same conclusion as the previous investigation, which found, hey, if she's paying him a reasonable amount, it's not above fair market value, there's nothing to see here. It's fine, because she needs the security, and why not just hire her husband as long as they're not robbing anybody, right? That's my guess. That's what's going to happen. But just the fact that you get these headlines, right? Just the fact that now you're raising questions about, oh, is she ethical? Is she not ethical? This is an attempt to also soften her up for a primary challenge where they're trying to get the primary challenger to win. Jamal Bowman, shock. The other day we learned he's getting a primary challenge, which is funded by AIPAC. They're going to go one by one after all of the pro-Palestine Democrats. Hear me now, quote me later.
It's not really something that I don't really have to really hedge bets on, because it's something that's already kind of guaranteed. Are you willing to pay for these things? I just figured out how serious discrimination in the black community suffered. The government could dig into the little trillions of dollars in military and bailouts they use to heal their own people. I mean, honestly, that would be kind of a fucking banger, too. I mean, and, this kind of makes me a little, despite my optimism in a lot of ways, it's just kind of making me a little worried about, like, when it comes to the Congress side of things, just because, like, there are going to be, like a hardcore fucking push to try to root out, what little influence there already is on, progressive, advocacy in Congress and, to the Senate to an extent too. And that just makes, pushing leftist advocacy just that much fucking harder. And there's already flaws and problems that I have with like a lot of those, members in the House as well. But when it comes to, a lot of these different issues, it seems like they're starting to kind of grow a little bit more of a backbone on these things, and they need to really kind of shape up a little more and do that more because like it might cost them their fucking seat if they don't, grow more of a spine and fucking fight back harder. Because if not, then, they might not win.
Evidence is already there. They will just slowly but surely add more Democrats who are pro-Palestine into their scope sites. It's happening. So don't fall for the head fakes. Understand the genesis of all of this, right? You're allowed to look at the reality and evaluate the evidence.
I can never be on political search because I will not be able to keep my side in check. How are you going to pay for these things? Well, aren't you the broken record, you McCarthy as fuck? I'd be way too antagonistic. I mean, I would too, to be honest. I mean, I definitely could see myself being kind of a smart ass to an extent.
Your own conclusion. Of course, as I said, if she was like basically stealing to pay her husband more, that's a problem, regardless of the genesis of the investigation. But just know why we're in this place in the first place. That it is mucked up. It is lawfare. They're doing this for political purposes because they want to purge the Democrats of anybody who is pro-Palestine. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe.
Pretty much. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just kind of another jab to try to make the progressives and lefties look bad and be like, oh, see, they're not actually in their best interest. Fuck them. See, they're just a part of the establishment too. But there's really nothing to see with this, basically. It's like hoopla over nothing, essentially. Hey, I'm honestly not really that shocked. Really, dog? You snuck a chip that I had fall on the floor. I'm gonna hold back on my sonar antics. The stoner in me was calling to thee.
Goddamn Tasmanian cat.
Let a cat fuck you up?
No, that's just a little bit of it.
Ooh, ow. Yeah, he kind of got fucked up by the cat.
What's up, cat's fault? Just...
Well, yeah, it's the human's fault. Always.
Well, it's not my fault either. It just goes nuts. It's the police fault. Or whatever. Hey, you done look at me.
Goofy little thing.
I like the Zukov treatment better. You'll sit there and lick me.
Yeah, because he's like a super friendly boy. I mean,
fucking claw and bite the shit out of me.
yeah, because Zukov is a friendly boy. I mean, he's a little lover boy. What's up? My loves, cuddles, scritches, and snuggles. He wants all that. Damn. Oof. Got fucked up. Damn, son. Here. Ooh, there's a little watch early of some Mike Figueredo. Absolutely nothing can bring these Trump supporters back to reality. Oh, no.
I don't believe that...
Wait, how long is the clip? Oh, boy. This is going to be juicy. 20 minutes. Oh, boy. It's probably going to be released tomorrow for everybody, but I got a little slight early access, so I don't feel that bad for it. YouTube censor again. YouTube is trash. Let my boys speak. YouTube. Except for you. You can shut up. Little stoner mukbang there. Dude, these sun chips. I don't even know when I decided to do the Pringles variation of holding these things, but The garden salsa flavor of these things are fucking fire as fuck. Not even gonna lie. Some chips, fire. Garden salsa version, top tier. Top tier shit. I think that's why I like these ones, just because I can just kind of either cup them in my hand or just like, oh. It's just like literally, well, I can just like straight up like, oh, do that. I will. I don't give a fuck. Like, these things are perfect for stoners. Like, they're excellent for them. Well, for us, I should say. So I'm not excluding myself from that. Push. But. This looks like a botched Marjorie Taylor Greene clone. But that's saying something because Marjorie Taylor Greene is already botched as it is. She's a botched human, and she looks like a botched Marjorie Taylor Greene clone, dude. And that, oh my god, dude. Ugh. Oh, fuck, dude. Well, I was looking into it.
Don't believe that many people voted for Joe Biden. I will never believe that.
Well, you're a fucking idiot because at the end of the day, it's been multiple years. I'm pretty sure the results, at this rate speak for themselves. It's been a long time. I mean, whatever. You're a fucking moron.
I don't believe.
No matter how many lawsuits or court cases there
No
were.
matter how many lawsuits or court cases.
Or literal, reality smacking me in the face with a sledgehammer? Yeah, no.
So it's an election year, obviously, and unfortunately. And during
And unfortunately,
years, I like to try to gauge where voters who I generally don't agree with are at, just to kind of get a sense of why they're voting for who they're voting for. And of particular interest to me is Donald Trump supporters, because I am curious where they stand. And I think it's obvious where they stand. I can make a lot of assumptions about where they stand, but I've seen a couple of viral videos of Trump supporters lately that has led me to believe that they are somehow more insulated than ever, more delusional than ever. And I just feel like a lot of these folks, there's no saving them. There's no bringing them to reality. We have a former president now, who could very well win, and he's threatening to end democracy, and they're just okay with it. So rather than trying to show you clip by clip, I want to just react to some of these viral videos that I've seen and share my thoughts. So the first one is this ABC News interview. They're going to talk to 3 Trump supporters. Small sample size, right? But I think that...
Why did the audio quality just suddenly dip? Mike, you might want to edit that a little bit.
Anecdotes are important, but let's just listen to what they say.
Not only do these voters...
Oh, wait. Okay, I see what's going on. He switched it up a little bit. He switched gears. Is that a Discord thing? Oh, you did? So, if here's someone in charge of YouTube censoring, just know, I hope your wife cheats on you and the guy working at a gas station. And I hope bus runs over your dominant foot. Damn.
dismiss Trump's many legal challenges.
My opinion is that the justice system is being weaponized against certain individuals.
They stand by
Certain individual situations. Is a manatee also being judged here? Oh, shit.
Trump's false claim that Joe Biden lost the 2020 election, even if it takes a minute. Do you think the election of 2020 was...
I don't know that I don't think that it was... Yeah, I do. I think it was stolen.
I don't think it was... Well, actually it was. Yeah, fuck you. It was, bitch.
I don't believe that many people voted for Joe Biden. And I will never believe that.
I mean, they're just so insular. They can't fathom that many people voted for Biden because they themselves...
I mean, there was a lot of people that voted for Hillary, even though that is kind of an unfortunate fact, even for me to understand and recollect with. But, I mean, yet it's the fact of reality because a lot of those votes are pretty much mostly anti-Trump votes. They're not necessarily pro-Biden or pro-Hillary votes when those votes are cast. Like, I mean, at least for 2016 and 2020, right? Like, so, I mean, this idea that, like, oh no, there's just no fucking way. It's like, well, yeah, there is. There's 330 million fucking people in this country, and most of them, frankly, don't vote. Like, like when you tally up like the literal like complete number of people who vote, like it's nowhere near 330 million. Okay, so the idea that like, I mean, oh no, there's just no fucking way it's possible. Just on that alone is bullshit. If they want this to be totally fair, we could always get rid of the electoral college. Well, yeah, true. But also, at the same metric, these candidates would still win. Joe Biden would still win via the popular vote. Hillary Clinton would have won the popular vote. Like, so, I mean, they obviously don't want that, but, evidently they got a problem with it now, apparently.
Fathom voting for Biden. Okay, well, I couldn't fathom voting for Donald Trump or a lot of candidates. That doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't happen. It's just so bizarre that that's the logic that they use. In the absence of evidence, which they have none, that the election was stolen, they just resort to, well, I can't believe it because I would never vote for Biden, so I don't believe.
The closest that they can get, if you actually, look at some articles and stuff, the closest that you can get to this is that some Trump supporters unironically try to, there was like a UPS or USPS driver that straight up try to hide all the ballots in his garbage bags, and had him at his front yard to kind of look like he was taking out the trash for garbage night or some shit. And there was another dude that tried to use his mom's name as a vote when she was already dead for a few years. So if anything, a lot of these Trump supporters tend to do a lot of voter fraud more so than anyone else. So if there was any voter fraud or anything like that going on during 2020, it was Trump supporters, and that still didn't make a difference anyway.
That many people did as well. It's just mind-boggling to me.
And that's not even getting into Trump's bullshit of him trying to force other politicians and governors and other motherfuckers to try to flip votes randomly and do all sorts of other illegal shit. Sounds like, the fucking, wolf is crying that there's a coyote in the fucking, chicken coop, even though it's in the chicken coop. And there ain't no coyote.
I don't believe.
No matter how many lawsuits or court cases there
No matter how many lawsuits or court cases, when something is proven, I think you have to investigate the other side of it.
I take it you believe the
She uses the word proven. I don't think she knows what that means.
election was stolen.
Yes, I do. With people say, well, there isn't enough to overturn this particular election. That really? You put it all together, I think there might be. Why aren't we looking at it?
How do you bridge the
Bitch.
What do you mean? No, there isn't. There just isn't.
We did look at it. Okay, she just said, if you were listening, all these court cases, it doesn't matter. Because one thing that we have to acknowledge is that facts are not going to be a contributor.
Care about your feelings there, liberal. We got the stats, here are the facts. Why don't you got a WAP? Because you're nothing but a bitch on a WAP. I don't know. I can't get over the fact Ben Shapiro literally did a rap. It's been dismissed multiple times. There's nothing, you fucking knuckle draggers. I know, dude. I mean, 2024 is going to be a rude awakening, man. It really is. Can you shut the fuck up? Oh my god, you look like a little sphinx. You're so cute. You need to shut the fuck up, but you're so cute. Stop trying to use your cuteness as a justification to bark. Shut up. You're cute, but it ain't gonna fucking, stop you from me telling you that, okay? So. Stop. Oh my god, he is fucking adorable right now. Looks like a little... Dude, his little paws are just like this. They're just like a little sphinx. A little sphinx right now. So cute. Oh my god. He melts my heart. He's like my moment of respite, so I hope you don't mind. He's my way to kind of space out this shit. I know you can't all really see. I don't really want to go back and forth with Streamlabs because it already apparently doesn't like me tonight. So I don't want to really gamble that hard with it. Or else I would show him as well at the moment because, oh my god, he just melts my soul. He's so cute. Just him sitting there is just cute and entertaining to me. I don't know why, but it just brings nothing but joy to me.
Factor to their opinion, right? This was supposed to be the side about facts don't care about your feelings. Well, facts are something that it doesn't matter to.
Unlike your feelings, liberal. Yeah.
Like they have this opinion based on nothing, and their brains are impenetrable. You can't get through to them with facts.
That's implying if they had one in the first place.
Something that I think is hard to accept, but it's true. Facts don't matter to these people.
Divide in this country. You guys have very strong opinions. You have certainly heard people who do not like Donald Trump.
I think if we really start to look at how we really have a lot more in common, and we all really want the same goal. We want safety and security for our country. We want,
That's a very broad statement, but sure. But how, do you really think that, just locking the border up with razors and barbed wire and fucking, gun turrets and shit, whatever the fuck you freaks want, and, security of the country means being the world police overseas and bombing the fuck out of random countries, to take out the enemy over there before they come over here? I mean, it's what do you mean by this? Because I'm okay with the idea of enforcing border, insecurity and shit like that of our country, but there's a way that can be positive, in that doesn't have to negatively impact an individual that wants to maybe seek a better opportunity here, or is just wanting to live in their own fucking country somewhere else. So there's a way to do this. Someone looks like she's on the verge of a stroke. Oh my god, you're right. Holy fuck, she really does, dude. The left side of her face looks like it's about to fucking melt and she's gonna stroke out, dude. Holy fuck, dude, you might be right. I hope that she gets medical care, because, she might stroke out here pretty soon.
Our children to thrive.
She might be at risk, bro.
Maybe
it was just a pause timing. Maybe it was. I don't know. Nope. Yeah, nope.
I think we have to get control of the media. I think we really have to get...
Okay, before we get in...
Hold on. I'm okay with that if we bring back the fairness doctrine. Beyond that, fuck you. If we're bringing back the fairness doctrine, then sure, that's okay. But until then, no. Fuck yourself. I don't trust your ass, to ka-chow the media. It's give me a break.
The media stuff. So, I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. There's this idea that, we can come together if we see our similarities, right? We all have, a lot of policy agreements, right? We want the same thing. We want our kids to prosper, economically speaking. But you don't. You're lying. I don't believe you when you say that. Because you keep voting for politicians who don't support the same thing, right? I mean, leftists, such as myself, have been screaming at the top of our lungs for years now about the benefits of Medicare for all, right? It would save us money every single month. Yes, our taxes would go up, but we would no longer have to pay what is effectively a private tax to a corporation.
And also, the idea that, universal healthcare might increase taxes for the working class broadly might be really negligible. Maybe for some of the upper middle class, or maybe just kind of middle class broadly in that. But you can easily tax, rich fucks and billionaires and corporations, on this issue, and and have the little man not really have to worry about that as much. So, even if we were to grant that, maybe taxes might be increased, they probably wouldn't be increased by that much anyway. No, you got a 0.5% or 1% increase because now we have public universal health care and you don't have to worry about paying a shitload of fucking money and getting into medical debt, because you got sick once or you broke your arm or something.
Healthcare coverage, right? If you end up going to the hospital for some reason and in the ambulance, they take you to a hospital that's out of network, you're going to have to pay out of pocket. Our healthcare system is a mess, and we say Medicare for all. How do you respond? That's socialism.
Oh shit, I just noticed. It has like a little small Palestinian flag over there. That's cool. Based.
By the bullshit anymore. You keep voting for politicians who openly say they want to cut Social Security, who are open about wanting to punish poor people for being poor,
and are okay with having child labor and all this other shit. So yeah,
SNAP benefits, who don't want the child tax credit. So I'm sorry, I don't believe you when you say you support these policies. I don't think you have a core political ideology. It's just fuck the other people, and so long as I'm doing okay, that's fine. You don't actually...
Which, it kind of goes back to the other issue, too, which is like, you know, when it comes to the abortion video with Walter Maston a little bit, because, like, I don't really care if, like, you know, they, at the end of the day, don't really necessarily care if, like, you know, other people get benefits or not or some shit. You know, even with, like, the logic of, you know, being selfish as fuck and be like, yeah, fuck, you got mine. It's like, when you, like, you know, like, even if it is, like, you know, public and, yeah, other people get it and all sort of shit, like, if you're also someone who benefits from that, wouldn't you want that? You know, so why, like, you know, so if, let's say, like, you know, someone else was, like, you know, had the same mentality, or like, yeah, well, fuck you, you know, you need to support yourself by the bootstraps, even though you have and you still are struggling and shit. It's like, you wouldn't want that. So it's like, even on a selfish, you know, metric kind of logic, you know, it just seems kind of fucking ridiculous. Because I could think selfishly, like, yeah, I don't want to get shot or killed, you know, for example. You know, so it's like, I don't want to do that to other people because I want someone else doing that to me, right? Like, so it's like you can extrapolate that to other fucking things, and it's like, you know, with that logic of being selfish in a sense, like, yeah, I want to preserve my life and not get killed, you know, but extreme example, but nonetheless, I mean, the premise still applies. It's like, even with this case. So it's like, you know, it's like, hey, if you got sick and you can't afford it, it's like, you would want to, you know, just have that, you know, not paid out of pocket, and you have to go into immense debt and shit. You would want to make sure that was covered and taken care of and shit, right? So, like, you know, even on that logic of being selfish and shit, like, wouldn't you want that, you know, like, for, you know, yourself, you know, like I said, being denied? So it's like, you know, because, you know, like, let's say that everyone else has the same type of fucking idea, then you might as well just make it, you know, so everyone's just equally covered then, you know, so no one has to really worry about it then, right? So it's like you can just extrapolate it at that point. It's like you can be a selfish fuck without it necessarily having to be like a callous fucking piece of shit either. It's like being like, oh, well, I want to make the choice to be this and that, or, you know, feel this way, or blah, 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 blah. But it's like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like when it comes to brass tacks, when you need help and shit, or you need those fucking services, you're going to fucking want them. And you're going to, you know, wish that you had them. And if anything, you know, want those fucking services. Because more often than not, they do. And they do seek out those fucking services. So it's like, you know, I mean, it's just, you know, fucking rank hypocrisy that I wish they would just fucking break out of their goddamn heads. Because they're like, it's just another reason why, you know, it kind of goes down to the education factor of things. It's not just as simple as, like, you know, labor to an extent, obviously, but, like, I mean, holy shit, education needs to definitely play a role in this, too, because, oh my god. Like, people need to get a little bit more humbled on this type of fucking thing, because goddamn, dude, it's ridiculous.
That the United States is a real community. You don't believe in helping your fellow
I mean, these motherfuckers literally think there's a psyop, you know, with Joe Biden administration, Taylor Swift, and the goddamn NFL, for fuck's sake.
It's just about the politics of retribution and revenge. And to be clear, I think that liberals are also part of the problem, because in public opinion polls, they'll say that they support policies like Medicare for all, but then they never vote for the most progressive candidate in primaries. They end up voting for the centrist Democrat, like Joe Biden. I
love all the blacks and Latinos, as long as they do move next door. 'Cause love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. I mean, yeah, like, that's kind of why I'm not really fond of them. It's like, oh yeah, they'll talk the talk, but when it comes to the brass tacks and suddenly shit changes around, and we're like, nope. I mean, it's a very NIMBY mentality, but most liberals tend to have a very NIMBY-like mentality.
To get Bernie Sanders, and they went with Joe Biden. So everybody needs to stop complaining about the country not changing if you vote for politicians who want to uphold the status quo, or in the case of these individuals, make matters worse. But she says we need to get control of the media. What does that even mean? Because I have my issues with mainstream media as well. I think that we need to decommodify media. I think that it's bad for news to be a business, right? I think that.
And a lot of that could probably be mitigated by bringing back the fairness doctrine. Because that'd be nice.
You need to remove that profit incentive so that way the actual dissemination of news is goal number one. But in capitalism, it's really hard to do that, right? And that's why you hear these corporate talking points, why they're so pro-corporate. They don't want to offend their advertisers. But she can't articulate these things. It's just, we have to control the media. Well, what does that mean? Just get them to be nice to Trump? I'm so frustrated because they are basing their strong opinions.
I mean, I'm at a point where, my mind is just, kind of getting blown away more and more by the fucking day with these freaks. And I'm trying to kind of grapple on how do I, process it at this point. He's just getting more frustrated. I've been past that. I'm beyond that phase. I'm just on, how do I, just accept this? In a way, I'm at that phase. How do I accept it? Because, my brain just kind of thinking about all of it, it's just kind of hurting. It's because how are they, how? Just fucking how? It's not to get a little existential out of nowhere, but how in the fuck do we get it? Oh, I guess my Bluetooth decided to die anyway. But how in the fuck did we get in this goddamn situation in the first place? Seriously. It's what? What was the butterfly effect, to this shit? What was the butterfly that fucking caused this shit? Seriously, alright, where the fuck am I put? I'll just put you right here. Because, motherfuck, man. We certainly went down somewhere wrong. I don't know where that was, but goddamn, it ain't good.
On ideas they pulled out of their assholes. And it's just, you can't reason with these fucking people. I've tried to. I have them in my family. You can't reason with them. I promise you.
I got some of my family. Some of them you can't reason with. There are a few of them that are.
You can never reason with family.
That's not totally true. I was just saying that I have some that aren't and some that are.
The family that agrees with you can reason with. Family that you don't.
There's family that I don't necessarily agree with. There's sure shit, things that you and I don't totally agree with, but we, haven't that, but it's fine. So that ain't totally true.
Yeah, so we agree to disagree.
I suppose, but it still doesn't solve the issue though. But because even with some of my family in Texas, for example, because I was gonna bring that up before you popped in with your interjection, but because there's kind of a weird silver lining with the, some of the, not their fault, but of some of the ignorance that they have on some aspects of education and their knowledge of, frankly, honestly, some kind of basic shit sometimes. Kind of, me being kind of the PNW, I guess, intellectual type, at least, maybe to them, it's it kind of gives an open door to be able to at least, have a conversation, even if maybe their gut reaction is I'm not too sure. Being able to at least, be well, at least this guy, it's yeah, he's part of family, he knows his stuff, I don't talk to him too often, at least hear him out, there's at least kind of the familial of well, I'm at least gonna listen and stuff, because talk with my cousins, they're a lot more chill and willing to just chat about pretty much goddamn near anything, and even though there might be some disagreements on some stuff, they they're pretty open about having a pretty casual conversation and not have any problem with it. They're just oh, well, that's a little interesting or a little strange or this and that. I don't know about that, but they never really get well, what the fuck? That's just some liberal woke bullshit. They're never like that about it. You know, but I mean,
Neither am I.
well, I know you're not. I'm not saying you are either. I mean, not like. I mean, you know, it's not like an
I'm
absolute.
conservative.
But I mean, but my, you know, both my aunt though. But at least when it comes to my aunt, like, oh my god, she can't even handle like, you know, some seductive like pinup poster in the background being like, or whatever. She's like, oh no, yeah. Fast forward to that, like, she is a real major social conservative prude.
Hey.
Like, that's some unreasonability right there.
Oh, do you want to go out?
Well,
Do you want to go out?
I guess my dog does. Did he really say that he was like? Did he devolve from libertarian to just conservative now? Did he just say that? Because it's still not exactly true. I don't know where because there's enough of him where that's not totally accurate. I thought you were libertarian, not conservative. Did you like evolve or something?
What?
You're like, you know, with me, you know, talking, you were over saying you were conservative now. Like, did you like evolve from libertarian to conservative now? Did that happen? I just said
libertarian.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So yeah, okay. Never mind. He's still that. Okay. I want to clarify because I thought I misheard earlier. So I was like, wait, what? Did he switch over somehow? Because I mean, you've always been stubbornly libertarian. So I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's libertarian. Physically conservative, socially, I don't give a shit.
Well, I mean, that's more like American libertarianism to an extent. I mean, if you look at like libertarianism as like, you know, the philosophy just like directly, it's a little bit different. I mean, because at least, you know, in the origins of libertarianism as a philosophy, it kind of has a little bit more of like kind of a progressive lefty origins in Europe and shit, where the term was coined because it was kind of a part of like the Enlightenment period and during like kind of more like liberty, like kind of where it comes from. Well, I'm just saying. Well, there's like, well, I'm talking about the etymology, about the background of the, you know, term and stuff, because like libertarianism here in the U.S. has a different definition and is like different in comparison to if you were to say libertarian somewhere else in the world. Like, you know, because it
spend within your means and do whatever you want to on your own time.
Well, but
that's always been my ethics.
Well, I mean, I guess that isn't really, you know, not mine either. Because I mean, yeah, but like I do, but I'm still struggling here. So it's like, I mean, there's a little bit more to it than just that. So I mean, but that's just more like, you know, personal advice shit at that rate, I guess. Or just like personal philosophy thing. I mean, there's a little more to it than just that, obviously. Because, I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, you could try to spend within your means, but if, like, you can't pay rent, pay groceries, and, you know, in your paycheck, you know, anyway, and you're still trying to spend within your means, but you literally are like, you can. It's like, what the fuck? You know, it's like, how do you do that? It's like, how do you work that conundrum out? Unless you want to start stealing or go into mass debt or both. Or whatever else. Or work like a fuckload of jobs and you literally have no life.
And send the economy into a wormhole. God damn it.
To get control of the media if you want to unify people, because I think that they have a way of really controlling the narrative.
When I asked Angelica about the First Amendment and freedom of the press, she said that should stand, but she wants just factual information.
Oh, does she now? That's fucking ironic.
It really is. Zukov.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah, who are you going to look at? Yeah, shut up.
You see what I mean? There's no hope for these people. I think that they're just too far gone. And that's not to say that every single Trump supporter is too far gone. But in 2020...
I mean, arguably, they probably are more so than back in, like, 2015, 2016. I mean, because, like, like maybe even for 2022 to an extent, because I can see the idea of people being like still kind of sold on a Kool-Aid a little bit, be like, oh yeah, well, yeah, remember, you know, he had like, you know, the, you know, career, like, you know, or what was it, like carrier fucking metal group or whatever the fuck, like, you know, it's like you brought Travis bed this and that. Like there's like, you know, some shit they could probably cherry pick, you know, but after like that whole election cycle, like I don't really think that excuse can really be made as much anymore. You could probably find a very rare exceptional motherfucker that just does not pay attention, you know, but it's, I don't know, like it's starting to kind of get a lot more harder. It's like finding a well, I guess it's finding like copper in diuretical shit. I wouldn't say a diamond, but some copper or something. You can at least get some value from that. Okay, Sukov, you're really starting to drive me nuts. You got food, you have water, and you have a way to get outside. Shut the fuck up. What is your deal? Okay, you know what? Get in your chair. Chair. Hey, get over here. Come on. Zooks. Hey. Come here. Chair. Lay down. Lay in the chair. Well, okay, that's not laying in the chair. That's falling and flopping on your ass in the chair.
Okay.
There you go. God damn, dog. You are a pill tonight.
Do you want out?
Well, don't just let me be there. Just let me be there. Just let me be there. He's curled up in a little ball. Just let him be there.
Okay.
He's a pill tonight. Like,
Well, the door's open. I guess if you wanted out, you would have gone out.
well, yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like, he has all of his needs met if he needs to use them, and he just. I think you just want to cause chaos tonight. You just want to be an anarchist. That's what it is. Oh my god, you're an adorable little anarchist, but you are not.
Give me attention. That's okay.
Are we good now, dog? Are we gonna chill? You adorable little croissant ball, you.
After 4 indictments, 91 criminal charges, an attempted insurrection, 2 impeachments, fucked up policies for 4 years, and him saying he wants to be a dictator, but only for a day. If you're still supporting him, I think you're too far gone. I'm sorry, I think you are. That doesn't mean that you have to be thrilled about Joe Biden. You can hate Joe Biden, but if you actively support...
I mean, there was a clip earlier from today that we saw that Mike Figueroa saying that he was a monster, so, I mean... You know, like, it's basically monster versus monster. I mean, it's like, awesome, great, sounds awesome.
Encourage people to support Donald Trump. I just feel like there's no hope. You don't actually care about anything. Like, you're basing your politics off of some amorphous idea of what you want America to be, and I don't even know what that is. I don't think you know what that is. It's just frustrating. But there's another video here that I want to get to. So this video here is from Luke Beasley.
This guy's shades are pretty big and ridiculous.
I think that this is an older video, but he just posted it on Twitter recently. And this video really triggered me a lot because I basically had a version of...
I kind of feel like if it triggers him, it's probably going to trigger me.
Conversation last week with one of my family members, and it's so frustrating, and you're going to see why it's so frustrating when we watch it. So let's see what she has to say.
He said when he was running that he wouldn't defund the police, and
he's talking about Biden, by the way. So obviously a Trump supporter, but CPAC shirt. So let's hear
on that. And I think that's a huge reason why we see so much crime today. I think that
Biden has defunded the police. Where?
Well, I mean, he hasn't defunded them, but he's defunded a lot of the police.
Notice how...
What? Okay, like, I don't even remember exactly where I've seen it, but I know TJ Kirk on DFF, The Amazing Atheist, I know he's mentioned this before on some of his streams, and I think on Onion Nuggets before. I don't know exactly the article specifically, but I know for a fucking fact that when it comes to police funding, shocker, It's Democrat ran fucking cities that tend to have more police funding than Republican ran fucking cities and shit. Like, and also, like, you know, a lot of these blue states tend to have a little bit more police funding in comparison to red states to an extent as well. Like, I mean, not, you know, I mean, some of it's, like, you know, in different variables, you know, like, you know, so, like, I'm sure, like, you know, Oregon's probably, you know, doesn't have, like, as much police funding in comparison to, like, Texas or some shit. But nonetheless, like, I mean, if you were to extrapolate all of it, like, there's, like, you know, like it's a little bit more mixed than you would think, especially when it comes to like, you know, these big like Democratic ran inner cities. Like there's legit more police funding there going on, you know, than not. So it's just a fucking spit in the face, you know, to this whole idea that like, oh, there's just like lawlessness and defunding and this and that, blah blah blah. It's like, no, there isn't. Maybe like with 1 or 2 cities, and maybe with like 3 or 4 tiny little towns, but beyond that, like, no, there isn't. That ain't happening. That ain't happening, Chief. Like, what are you talking about, you fuck? Like, excuse me? Like, you know, police have been, you know, in Portland, for example, have been gotten more funding, you know, since 2020, and they still aren't doing their fucking jobs, and still whining and bitching about, like, you know, having to be held accountable and all this other shit. And, you know, and basically just, like, letting things go, you know, willy-nilly, you know, for the fuck of it. You know, and not actually doing their fucking job at all. So it's like, I mean, you know, like the Portland Police Bureau are like really a perfect grade A example of this fucking problem. Like, you know, they've gotten more funding since 2020, and despite that, you know, they haven't improved on their fucking jobs. They haven't done fucking anything since, for the most part, outside of like a tiny little drug bust here and there, or stopping some street racers once or twice a year, you know, since then. It's like beyond like tiny little things to be like, oh, I guess we are doing something to justify their fucking stupid budget. Like, you know, they ain't doing anything. They don't care. They don't give a fuck, because it justifies the idea that like, oh, if you give us less accountability and give us even more funding, then we'll actually do our fucking jobs. It's a fucking, you know, bullshit excuse. It's like basically like gaslighting on a, you know, level that, you know, impacts everybody. It's fucking insane. And the Portland mayor is in cahoots with it. And guess what? Shocker. His party affiliation? Democrat. Wow. So it's like, I mean, you know, like, it's this idea that, like, oh, Democrats are just trying to defund police left, right. It's fucking bullshit. You know, this did trigger me. You know, yeah, it did. If it triggered Mike, yeah, I guess it did to me too. Because, yeah, it does. Considering that I live in Portland and I kind of, like, you know how this kind of, you know, fucking broader argument works here, because like Portland's a good example for it, especially considering a bunch of these conservatives love to use Portland as like a drug-induced, lawless, fucking criminal-ridden fucking society where the, you know, gangs, you know, just run everything, which is also bullshit. But, you know, oh my god. Well, this triggered me. See, I kind of had a guess that it would, and it did.
Him just asking her a question gets her to back down from her position. Well, he hasn't defunded them, but he's defunded some. Oh my god.
And
because that is done on a citywide level, not the national level.
That's true. But I mean, overall,
that's true. Like that's true. That's like true though. But like, you know, overall though, they have. I need to go get like another Starbucks latte. Excuse me.
I think that this is the scariest times that we have lived in. He said,
wow. So profound.
Okay. This person's mind would explode if she learned that Biden actually supports increased funding for police. Because guess what? Biden loves the cops. He wrote the crime bill, baby. He's that author.
And his VP is a cop.
It's frustrating. And I was
talking. That's the reason why she's also nicknamed Cop Mala.
To somebody. I'll kind of get to my conversation with my family member without naming them in case they see this, because they might. All of a sudden.
Yeah, fuck them.
And they have a really strong opinion about Joe Biden. And it's like, do you even know what political party he's in? Because this person is very apolitical, but all of a sudden they heard something that had them against Biden. And my question was like, well, why? Because I have criticisms of Joe Biden as well. There are legitimate reasons to oppose Joe Biden. So why do you dislike Joe Biden? And the answer was, well, it's because Obama is controlling him.
What? What? At this point, I wish. Because, in a weird way, like, I kind of feel like, you know, if he was somehow the puppet master behind Biden, like, I feel like it wouldn't be as fucked, you know, when it comes to, like, some of the bullshit going on right now. Because, I mean, you know, Obama kind of understands, you know, the idea of, like, you know, hey, gotta do a couple good things here and there. It's election year. You know, it's like, he kind of understands that idea a little bit. So, I don't know. I kind of feel like, you know, things wouldn't be so fucked if that was the case. So, I don't know. Like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. I mean, leave me to fucking, you know, really wish that to be the thing. Oh my, man, leave it to conservatives to just, like, you know, leave a world where it's somehow strangely better, you know, when it comes to the fanatical, like, conspiracy theories, where I wish it was actually reality, but it's not. I just wish it was, honestly. Because, like, bruh, why? It's like, why tease me? Why tease me with such fucking awesomeness? Well, I guess, you know, with this specific context of what I'm talking about, it probably wouldn't be that awesome. It's actually pretty fucking benign in comparison to, like, a lot of shit they talk about. Like, the communist, trans, like, utopian, leftist, like, elite deep state. Like, I wish that was a fucking thing. Like, a lot of that crazy shit. I wish that was the thing. I wish the Jewish space lasers were a fucking thing, for fuck's sake. It's like, oh shit. It's like, you know, not just the Israeli government, but the whole diaspora of the Jewish people were, like, secretly funded, like, you know, some fucking, like, space program and, like, had that thing. It's like, oh, fuck, dude. It's like, I mean, you know, like, I mean, even though it isn't, you know, an anti-Semitic conspiracy is fucking get out, I mean, imagine if it was real. That'd be like, oh shit, dude. It'd be like, oh fuck, maybe we should listen to them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like, oh fuck, maybe they should just, you know, let the world be theirs or something. I guess they are the chosen people. Oh fuck. They just had that technology in their fucking, you know, like, Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Like, oh fuck, dude. I mean, it's like, this is why, you know, like, it kind of frustrates me, you know, in a way. At least in a different variable. And the variable is that they make the world sound way too fucking awesome for what it is. Like, I mean, seriously. I mean, like, why do you make the world sound more cooler than it really is? Because it ain't that cool. But, you, like, I mean, is that why? Is that why they, you know, in some part, they kind of delve into these weird-ass conspiracy theories because they just want the world to be that, like, cool Machiavellian, like, you know, the crazy Hollywood action movies that they all love and jerk off to and shit, basically. You know, it's like, is that what they want? I mean, because I don't know. Because I wish it too, but I'm not, you know, creating some Machiavellian conspiracy theory over it. It's like, fuck. I mean, so it's like, I could dream, and I wouldn't be the only one, obviously, but I mean, fucking hell, dude. To conservatives, man. They're a mind fuck. I guess, you know, with the part 1 stream and now with this one, I mean, that's kind of the theme of the streams tonight, I guess. Like, conservatives being just a mind fuck that they are, dude, because, like, I don't get it. Like, I mean, you know, like, because libs, they're their own, they're a whole different issue. I mean, but, like, conservatives, though, like, I mean, that's what bakes my fucking noodle to, like, the nth degree, dude. Like, I mean, it's like, you gotta tread on some, like, you know, some shallow waters, you know, when trying to deal with that shit. Because if not, then, you know, you might drown, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's because, like, oh, fuck, man. I don't know. Like, what I really, I guess what I don't get with it is that, like, it is a thing, but at least for my anecdotal experience, I don't see it that often. So it's like, I truly wonder how really prevalent is it out there? Because even with like some of my family, I know some of them that are kind of a little quirky and prudish as fuck and pretty right wing as hell, but not all of them are like that. In fact, some of them don't even really agree with, the more right wing, extreme levels of my family either. So there's kind of a little, I kind of, know there's a little underlying political beef drama stuff sometimes that happens. But it never really comes up too often, but I know it does happen. So it's like, I mean, it makes me kind of wonder, how truly prevalent is it? Because I know it is out there. I see, I've seen it around here before. I mean, I know I've, seen people or customers I've served at my workplace who are like this. I mean, I've been to Texas a couple times before. I know I know motherfuckers out there, that just, observing and being out in public, seeing them out there. Right, anecdotal experiences from other people. This shit's out there, but it's like, how truly fucking prevalent is it? How deep does it go? Because I really wonder, how much of it is just people being just kind of ignorant chuckle fucks and they just not follow their own, they just don't know better, and how much of it is legit just a deep loyalist Naziistic, fascist, cult level fucking shit with it. You know what I mean? I really wonder what, where the distinction is and, how deep does it go? That's what I really wonder. Cause, man, dude, I did really want to delve into it, and I don't think I will, but, Kyle's, uploaded a video about, this MAGA extremist that made a YouTube video that was up for 6 fucking hours, by the way, of him holding up his dad's fucking head that he killed, talking about a call for a revolution against the woke agenda and all this other shit and all insane shit. And it's just how many of those motherfuckers are there, man? How many of those motherfuckers are out there? Because, because if it ain't just one person, it ain't just some outlier. They're kind of dotted around all over the place. It makes me wonder, how many of these motherfuckers are really out there? Who are willing to kind of go to that fucking extreme to such a level and, an insane degree. And the reason why he did it, supposedly, is because his dad was a traitor to the fucking cause, so to speak, and was a loyalist to the deep state or some shit, just some random unhinged psychopathic nonsense. And I guess the video is on the internet now. I mean, obviously it was uploaded to the internet, and of course people were going to catch a whiff of it, and now it's out there. I sure shit don't want to see it, but it's out there. If anyone's that fucking curious for it, I guess. So, I mean, because if you think I'm kidding, I'm not. It's out there. So it's a thing. And he did actually do that. And he was a MAGA extremist fucking freak. It makes me wonder, like I said, to kind of bring it to full circle, it's I wonder how many of those type of motherfuckers are like that out there. Maybe not to that extreme, but to that extreme too. Not to just such an extreme that they're going to maybe join, a local Proud Boy chapter, or you go out to some MAGA rally or some protest or whatever, or get affiliated with some little local, gun nut group or some shit, but also go to the point where they're willing to kill their fucking family and shit. It's how many of those motherfuckers are out there over this? But kind of mind fucks me a little bit, because I partly don't want to know, but I kind of want to, because I kind of feel like the answer to it would be way too fucking many. I mean, 1 is already bad enough. It should be 0, but 1's already bad enough. But that's 1 too many. But it's it's just probably in the hundreds of fucking thousands. I mean, if you really think about the U.S. entirely, and that's just a minimal. That's being conservative with it. And fucking freaky. One of the dudes that I actually I could think about actually anecdotally from my experience is that I found out there's a dude. I think I've referred to him before. Like, there's a dude that will sometimes come in with a shirt that has a Pepe on it with a clown wig that says Clown World. And there's also another time where he showed up with a American flag middle finger that says fuck Joe that said in the middle finger itself, fuck Biden. And then on the bottom of it says, and fuck YouTube too. And one of my coworkers, apparently, that's one of his neighbors. And at one point, Homeland Security wanted, to kind of like, check up on his ass at one point. And the reason why is because apparently he said some pretty inflammatory things, to be, vague with it, because I don't know what he said, to be frank. But I just know if the Homeland Security is on your ass over some shit, sending some emails, then, I wonder what it could have been. Because apparently, my coworker, I'll just call him D, just for nickname's sake. But Homeland Security, plainclothes officers, essentially, plainclothes feds, came up to him and asked, "Hey, do you know where so and so is?" And they're like, "Well, no, he's not here today. I don't know." But they eventually found him later that day. But that was Homeland Security trying to find him so they can, take him in for questioning about some of the emails he might have sent. Because, one of his roommates, kind of gave the skinny a little bit, but never really gave too many details, apparently. So it was kind of out in the open what, it all was about, but I kind of have an idea. Probably sent some threats to a politician, maybe, or something like that. Maybe, I'm just taking a guess. Especially considering his shirts, I kind of have a hunch on where his leanings are, and they're kind of in this cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs thing that we're kind of talking about here, so it's like, it makes me, like I said, it makes me fucking wonder, dude. It's like, if that guy didn't really have, like, the law of society, kind of, keeping him in check, like, how much, like, what would it take for that motherfucker to snap? You know what I mean? Because I've helped him a couple times at my workplace, just because, I mean, he's pretty chill when, he just kind of comes up being like, "Hey, can I have some tenders?" Or, whatever. Like, he's pretty chill and laid back, I mean, on the surface. But there's something underlying under there, and it's like, and that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like, how many motherfuckers out there who got that underlying fucking bug just ready to just pop out, dude? Like the fucking alien, dude. Just like, from Aliens, just like, just comes out like a chest burster, bro. Like, I mean, how many motherfuckers are just having the chest burster just waiting to come out, dude? It's like, I really don't want to know, because there's a lot of motherfuckers like that. And give me some EBGBs. Because it's like, I know they're, like, even around my own community, there's people like that, and it's not, it's not something that exactly makes me feel comfortable sleeping at night. I really don't.
Excuse me? Okay, first of all, that's not happening. Second of all, if it were happening, why would that make you so vehemently opposed to Joe Biden? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what policy reasons? Is it his foreign policy, anything that he's done domestically? Because there's a lot to be critical there. But this person was not saying, well, listen, I support unions, and Joe Biden, he broke up the railroad strike. I can't forgive him for that. There's no policy reasons. Everyone is just pulling stuff out of their assholes, and they're having really strong opinions about this made-up thing. And it's so frustrating to me, because we have to have informed opinions if we're going to be that passionate. But these motherfuckers are the most passionate people on the planet, and they have real strong opinions about things they don't know shit about. It's just shocking. Now,
I mean, it's... I mean, it was kind of on the first stream before Streamlabs decided to take a shit. but I know Rose was mentioning, like, like a little bit of this. And we were kind of mentioning this from earlier. It's like, there needs to be kind of like a sense of like, more of like kind of this like taking some of this like passionate fervor that the right loves to use so much when it comes to like maybe some elements of like, their buzzwords or verbiage to a degree. Not the politics, obviously, like, like I was saying from earlier, but at least, maybe some elements of that, because, like, if there's like something to their weird, like, oh yeah, you know, even though they have like, you know, fuck all to really back it up with, then it's like, you know, why not adopt that like kind of passion fervor type of shit? Be simple as fuck like they are with it, but at least of our politics, because like at least we're backing our shit up, right? You know, so it's like, I mean, you know, it's something where it's like you could say the same, you know, idea, just couch it a little differently. I mean, it's just like, you know, just, you know, choose different verbiage and just, you know, couch it in a different way, depending who the audience that you're trying to sell with, right? Like, I mean, because obviously with other progressive lefties, I mean, you can go so deep to talk about like, you know, oh yeah, the Marxist theory of Das Kapital. Yeah, I mean, you could go that deep with, you know, if, you know, with other lefties and shit like that, right? But like, even maybe to a lesser degree, even with libs. But like, you know, when it comes to like, you know, conservative types of shit, you don't want to be doing shit like that. You want to kind of maybe infer other ideas and buzzwords and other phrases and things like that, that, you know, while it says the same idea, well, at least, you know, maybe get their hook and be like, well, I kind of like that there, boy. You know, so I don't know. Like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, you can say the same thing, but just phrase it in a different way. I mean, I don't, you know, I then, especially considering that there's like a lot of like analysis, utilitarian calculus, my dude, type of shit, you know, with a lot of left. You think that would kind of be something they would equate with as a part of the calculus, my dude? But I guess not really as much. Because even if they're still gullible chuckle fucks at the end of the day and maybe are still wrong on many other issues, because sure, they probably will be, you know, at least, you know, you can, you know, lure them with, you know, bait that's actually good for them, you know, for the issues that you can lure them in with, right? Like, so you might not be able to lure in with everything, but you can do so with other, you know, aspects of things and with other issues. So, you know, because, I mean, despite the insanity of some of these type of folks and shit, you know, or like some of the, like, or like that chest burster waiting to pop out of some of these people, like, I still think there is a way to, like, you know, kind of take that out without necessarily having to, you know, like, you know, address a really extremist element of it, you know, in a sense of like, you know, of them going too far. Like, you can address it with like, you know, neutering them by actually just making their broader well-being conditions better by just, you know, like couching in a way that to where they might, you know, even if they don't realize it, you know, like, you know, advocate for things that are actually in their benefit. But, you know, like I said, it might not even be something they realize with and shit. But, you know, because at the very least, it's a fucking start. I mean, you know, because, you know, like, got to plant the seed somewhere. You know, it's like, I mean, but that's just maybe the optimist side of me, you know, popping out a little bit. Because, like, I mean, I kind of consider myself an optimist and a pessimist in a way. Like, kind of consider myself like a weird, like, conundrum of both. Because in a lot of ways, I'm, you know, feel like, you know, there's, you know, like, some optimism that can be had, you know, or at least, you know, at the very minimum, just worth the fucking try when it comes to like, you know, tackling some of these issues. But at the same time, it's like things are kind of fucked. So it's like, it's, you know, it's kind of hard to, you know, it's kind of a weird conundrum for me, I suppose. But I guess a good one to have, you know, because I'd rather have that conundrum versus anything else, I guess.
Video is of TYT. This one went really viral, and I actually admittedly have not seen it yet. I wanted to react on camera.
Oh God! Oh, dude, we saw this with Kyle on like a coffee stream before work once. Dude, this guy, I immediately recognize this one. This guy is psychotic. This guy is actually fucking unhinged and needs to go into a mental asylum, like a 1950s era mental asylum too. At that. Like, I mean, like, not even capping on that one. Like, this guy is, you know, so, you know what? I didn't even realize that Mike was about to bring this guy up again. You know what? We're gonna do it because I'm gonna challenge myself actually, because this guy, when he later in this clip that he's about to bring up, he looks dead right in the fucking eye of the camera like this. Eyes wide open with like this fucking look that he will literally gut you alive and skin you like the animal that you are. Like, it is disturbing. It's creepy. It's fucking creepy, dude. Like, this guy is... This dude is actually insane. Like, I mean, because I remember checking a guy out initially being like, oh, this guy looks like he's probably one life stressor away from relapsing. But I was wrong. This guy already relapsed. This guy already relapsed like a week ago, and he's on a high right now. He's on like a meth high. Like, he's like 2 days, awake, high on a fucking, 7-day meth binge, dude. Like, I mean, that's what's going on, dude. It's like, holy shit. Dude's whack. But I'm gonna grind this weed up and smoke this before I even get into this guy, because I was not ready to see this guy again. I was not ready to see the next fucking Jeffrey Dahmer over here, dude. Like, I wasn't ready for that. Oh, man. Oh, boy. I did not expect that, but alas, here we are. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Alright, that should be enough in there. It's just, man, it's still fucking sticky ass motherfucking bullshit. Motherfucking damn. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Aw. Looks like a little croissant. A croissant that got totally burnt in the fucking bakery oven, but you know what? He still looks cute. Oh my god. Oh man. You could just tell. Dude, he's not even looking directly into camera, but you could tell, man. This guy's got the eyes of dude, I have PTSD. I'm remembering exactly what the fuck he looked like, and when he was looking right at the camera, and it's actually fucking terrifying me before we even get there yet, dude. I'm like, oh god. Oh no. Oh fuck. Dude, this is a journey. Holy fuck, dude, Mike. Dude, my boy Figueredo. The lovely PDX Gatorado, dude. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? Oh no, I was not expecting this. Fuck. Oh man, I'm trying to kind of accelerate the loading of this, just because, I mean, prolonging this is not going to make the pain go away. So, it's like, fuck, dude. I mean, look at this. I mean, dude, he's just such a psycho nut, dude. You can just look at this motherfucker and just know that, he probably has, killed. I would not be surprised if there's bodies in his basement. I would not be surprised if he's, got buried bodies, somewhere, in his local area, dude. This guy looks like a fucking killer, bro. Dude, Jeffrey Dahmer in the making right there, dude. Just, straight up. For those who haven't seen from the first time, you're about to, but because I finally got this early loaded, I was like, holy shit. Like I said, prolonging it ain't making the pain go away, and it just makes it worse because it's just more anticipation for what's about to happen. Oh no, I'm not ready for this, Mr. Krabs. Alright, I hope that helps. It probably won't, but I hope it does.
But, so, this is a Trump supporter here, interviewed by Michael Schor, and apparently he's gonna, based on the title, call for Democrats to be hanged. So let's see what he has to say.
I'm giving you, 20 seconds to say something to President Biden. If you had him right here and the camera was President Biden.
I can't say what I want to say. I'm sorry.
Well, say something that conveys.
It would bring public hangings back. Simple as that. I think they should bring public hangings back and hang people like Joe Biden.
Oh god, look at the unhinged, soulless eyes that wish to seek the flood of blood of everyone around him. Like, oh my god. Like, Jesus Christ. God, I still can't. Fuck me, dude. Fuck. I can't. Dude. Okay, even now, I still cannot look at that. Jesus fucking God. See what I mean? See what I mean? I like how he has a blank expression. I mean, like, fuck. Ugh. I know he's there. I know he's off screen. I can't. I don't. He's right there. Oh God. Oh, God. Oh, dude. What? Fuck. I mean, that is that's the face of a man who will eat the entrails of someone alive as he's like carving them out. Like, dude, like that is a guy. That is the face of a man who will literally eat your entrails while you sit there in shock as you're slowly dying, bro. Like, that is the face of a man who will proudly do that. Like, I mean, it's like, oh my God. Mental asylum. Bring him back, please. Like, I mean, seriously, like, obviously have him humane, you know, like, but, like, it's just, we need him back, because holy shit. Oh my God. Oh my God, even from this distance and on such a small screen, I can it pierces my soul. Oh my God. Fucking hell, man. Like, get him off my screen.
I really think, you think that a pedophile, you think somebody would be a pedophile?
Okay, he's getting into it. I was just going to say, I guarantee that he thinks that Biden should be publicly executed for, like, the dumbest reason imaginable or something based on no evidence. But it seems like he's going to call Biden a pedophile.
Being somebody that was a pedophile hanging up in the street, dude? No, I don't think so. I think they should give every American an assault rifle and a handgun inside of their home. Just.
I think I made jokes about that. And this guy's being serious with it. I've made it a meme before, being like, yeah, fuck it. You know, Second Amendment is actually a God-given right in this country. Everyone deserves a God-given AR-15. Like, I made jokes about that before. So, but this guy's being actually serious with it. Yeah, mental asylums, you know, unironically unableist, you know, like, not ableist at all. Like, yeah, they need to be brought back. Yeah, they unironically need to be brought back. Yeah, because this might be a problem. This might be a problem. You know what I mean? I don't know if my boy here fit for society. I don't know if he's capable of being able to function properly without potentially snapping and going, you know, fucking Jeffrey Dahmer on a motherfucker. He probably already has. Like, I mean, this guy probably has already Jeffrey Dahmered some motherfuckers before, dude. Like, I would not be surprised. Search his home. There's probably bodies, you know, like, scattered around in the form of furniture, my dude. Like, I mean, dude, like, I'm not kidding. This guy's probably got corpses in his body, you know, in his fucking house.
He's a home invader or a child predator.
So just universal guns for everyone. I mean,
no universal healthcare, but universal guns for everybody.
Look, I support universal programs as a socialist. The top of my mind is like, okay, we've got to start with healthcare. Then we've got to go to housing. How do you win these people over? You can't.
You know, honestly, I mean, for the memes, fuck it. Like, you know, if we had a utopia society, you know, it would be at the bottom of the barrel of the issues. It would be like scraping the barrel. But for like universal programs, you know, yeah, sure. If we were in a utopian society where everyone's all taken care of and we're all living in kumbaya land and we all can trust each other to have a firearm because we're not going to kill each other with them. But, you know, we don't live in that world now, do we? So, you know, we can't have nice things. It'd be nice to have nice things like that, but we don't. So, you know, like, I mean, you know, in a weird utopian, far-fetched, you know, silly world, that would be nice and kind of cool, but it ain't now, is it? So, no, let's not have that. Ay, man. But healthy people could buy more guns. Then fair enough.
You can't. And, these are anecdotes,
Touche.
yes, but you've got to admit, this is a sizable portion of the American population who thinks this way, who believes this stuff. I have a member of my family who would also probably say something like this.
Watch, we have free housing, so we can have a place for people to put. So we have people to have a place to put them in. But fuck that, you call me piece of shit. We should have something like universal free guns instead, because that's the real American way. It's like, what?
I think Revelations is happening before.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no. He's talking about Revelation. Okay, yeah, this guy, yep. 1950s era mental asylum with this one. All right, you know what? I mean, I will have an asterisk to my mental asylum policy. We're going to have one that's strictly, in the style of the 1950s. Just one in America. We're cordon off motherfuckers like this specifically. They can go there. But everybody else doesn't. They go in the humane areas. But the 1950s mental asylum, this guy gets it.
Yeah, I
just make everything about guns. Why free education? Free range lessons. Free range lessons for, 10-year-olds, and youth. The 3-year-old, needs to learn how to use a gun, to learn how to hunt with his old poppy. I'm telling you, brother. So free gun range classes, for every father that has, any kid, under the age of 14, brother. It's just like, I mean, but wait, what about free education just in general? Just education, period. Nah, fuck that. What are you, a communist? You woke liberal training motherfucker? Fuck your ass. I don't want that communist nonsense up in this household. It's like, what? Excuse me? It's like, what? It's I mean, there is some merit to where Mike says, like, they're TFG, because, yeah, there are some motherfuckers that are just straight like this, man. Like, how do you get for a motherfucker like that? Sorry, that's just my Ed just screaming in the ether for fucking some sort of sanity. I'd be like, who's the target? Who's the target lessons? Hint, most of them are elderly. Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about it, but you just reminded me. I saw a YouTube short. I wouldn't be surprised if I would be able to find it if I looked it up. I'm not going to do it just for simplicity, TLDR sake. But the YouTube short was like an accident that happened at this like competition shooting thing, and like it was for like it was like some cowboy fucking thing. So there's like single actions, lever actions, shit like that. But yeah, it was like some shit like that. But problem was though, like there was a kid, because it was like they had like a youth competition too, I guess, because what could go wrong? And the YouTube short was like an accidental discharge of this kid, who was trying to like do like some sort of timed shooting with his like single action revolver or whatever, and he accidentally shot himself in the fucking leg because like he tried to do some quick action draw or whatever the fuck and like kind of like free like cock the handle and all sort of shit and like it was not given proper safety training obviously whatsoever, and shot himself in the leg. And it's like, and a lot of comments were even pointing out, it's like, this is like irresponsible. This isn't cool. This is ridiculous. Like, there should have been, I mean, like, and honestly, I don't even agree with some of it in the sense of like, oh, he should have been given proper training and this and that. It's like, no, he probably shouldn't have been doing that at all, frankly. I mean, it's like, I mean, I can maybe give it past long as there's adult supervision for like 13 and up, maybe. But like, but the kid was like 11 or some shit. And it's like, bruh. Facepalm. I know, dude, just facepalm. That's, yeah. It's like the Captain Picard meme, it's a double facepalm, dude. It's like, bruh. It's like, I mean, and obviously a lot of adults, didn't really give a shit, because after it happened, a lot of them were like, oh, well, hold up, an accident happened. It's like, a kid got accidentally shot himself. Like, you think, there should be a lot more of, like, some urgency here. And, like, a lot of the adults also, I'm noticing in the background of the video, we're just kind of standing around like, oh, well, I guess that happened. It's like, I don't know. Check up on the kid, you fuckers. It's like, oh my god. Anyway, but this is why there needs to be, like, a reform in gun culture. Because, like, I'm okay with guns. I think they're fine in a sense as long as there's, like, strong, strict safety and responsibility measures and all this other shit. But, and it's very strict, strong adult supervision for at least, like 14 and up. Like, maybe 13 at the minimal. But, like, beyond that, it's like, like, nah, like, I mean, there needs to be a fucking hardcore line of Sam shit like this, because this is ridiculous. I mean, our country's absurd. I mean, because there's a lot of other countries, like Switzerland, for example, that where a fat chunk of the population also own a lot of guns as well. And weird, shocker, it's nowhere near as much of a problem, when it comes to, like, gun violence and accidents and negligent discharges and all this other shit. Weird, it's not a problem there at all. Strange. I wonder why. Fucking absurd, dude.
Revelations is happening right before our lives.
Oh yeah, this Jeffrey Dahmer guy again.
He's referring to the end times passage in the Bible. For those who don't know, Christians have been saying this forever. Since I was a kid. My religious family.
Since I was a kid, too. I even remember around 2012, like, with the whole weird meme that, like, the end of the world is going to happen in 2012. I don't know if anyone remembers that. But, like, I remember in 2012 where, like, a lot of people, like, bought in the meme that, like, the end of the world was going to be, 2012 because the Mayan calendar ended on 2012 or some weird shit like that. And I distinctly remember, like, around the end of the year of, it was around, like, maybe November, if I remember correctly. But I remember, like, there was, like, this whole, like, oh, the rapture is going to happen before, the true end times and blah, blah, blah. And there was, like, at one point where there's a bunch of random, like, shirts and, like, what, basically, like, random clothes, like, someone would be wearing them, but the person themselves are not there, like, on a bench or something like that. And it would basically be like, oh, they got raptured symbolically. And it's like, people will leave that around, and shit, because they'll be like, oh, the rapture's coming. And I distinctly remember it because, like, I remember after church once, my mom and her friends and I, went to this little taco place in Oregon City, like a little taco restaurant or some shit. And there was a bench outside that had one of those fucking shirts, or one of those clothes, set up, like someone was sitting on the bench, like they got raptured. And it's like, oh yeah, that's a sign, and a symbolism that the rapture is going to be coming and blah, 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 blah. Like, because they kind of bought into it a little bit at the time. And I'm just sitting here like, as a kid, just like, oh no, like, that's not happening. Like, I kind of even said, it's like, I don't think that's happening. I think that's just someone just kind of being silly with it. And they're like, well, yeah, I mean, they're not, obviously, no one was raptured there, but, there's, they're just like symbolically referencing it and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, but that's not going to happen. It's like, that's not going to happen in 2012. And they're like, well, I mean, we'll just trust in God. You never know. Remember. And I'm just sitting here just like the facepalm emoji, just like, no. Like, oh, God. Like, It's like, have faith. You gotta have faith, Arthur. It's like Dutch Vanderland, dude. It's like, you have to have faith. But I did too back when I was a Christian and felt so fucking dumb afterward too. Wait, you were a Christian at one point? Oh, God. Oh, my condolences. Well, I was too, so, May have been a year, but I was still fucking retarded for buying into it. Well, I mean, hey, I was too at one point, so I'm honestly, I'm kind of surprised that I'm not gonna lie, because I know that your dad's from Jordan and stuff. At least for some of the little information I know you have given about yourself, like I kind of figured maybe you would have been like formerly a Muslim or something. No, I guess formerly Christian. Okay, all right. Well, shit. Broken assumption there on me. But yeah, I mean, hey. So yeah, either way, I mean, nonetheless, you're still gonna know how it feels either way. Because yeah, I was too for a time, but at least I was a kid. That's I'm sure my mom's an American Protestant. Oh, okay, so so you kind of grew up from religious from your mom's side, just like me. My dad's kind of more like just broadly spiritual and deist, or I guess maybe I best sometimes a pagan. I know at least he used to be a practicing pagan and as a Wiccan. At least he used to. I don't know if he kind of still does every now and then, but not often. In fact, very rarely. It's almost kind of like kind of like almost like a cultural Christian in a way. Like he almost does it kind of like it's like a Easter thing almost for him. But at least for my mom, like every Saturday I went to church with her and shit like that. So yeah, it was for me, like when it came to my religious upbringing, it came from her. Free marketism. Well, luckily I didn't grow up with that. Well, I mean, I kind of did, but my dad never really prophesied, his values or ideas that much. I mean, he tried to do what he could for teaching me growing up, I guess, but at least when it comes to teaching for more, and honestly, considering my ideas, my broader, general gut reaction with things, like, I don't know if that was ever going to be sold to me anyway, so, I guess, I probably got lucky early with that one anyway, too.
Numbers were saying, well, this is Revelations. We're in the end time. We've been in the end time for a really long time. So how can it be wrong? How can they be wrong if it's just happening in perpetuity, right?
I think Revelations is happening right now. I never used to believe in God until I overdosed on heroin, and then...
Oh my god, when I first saw this clip, we never got this far into it. And this guy, like, I was making a joke how this guy, initially I thought he was about to relapse, and then I thought he relapsed. And, this confirms everything. He is still on the H. I never believed in God until I overdosed on heroin. It's like, yes, this explains a lot. It really does, dude. Like, how much you want to bet this guy is still on the H? Like, I guarantee it, dude. Or how much you want to bet he replaced H with meth? Yeah, I didn't get right with God, until I overdosed on heroin, so that's why I switched to meth. Oh my god! Oh, man! I knew it. I fucking knew it, bro. I knew there was something, about this guy where there was drugs heavily involved with him.
Believed in God, man, and let me tell you, the world is about to be a sea soon. I think that...
Sounds like a loving God. He's going to drown everyone, I'm assuming?
Oh, yeah, let's drown everybody. Like Noah's Ark 2, Electric Boogaloo. There's only going to be one, family that's going to be able to survive. But everyone else is going to die because they're heretic degenerates. And that includes you, too, you heroin junkie.
And it's like, look, I understand that you have, like, a really huge, scary moment and your life changes and you feel like there was divine intervention. But if that leads you to believe in God, you have to also question, like, well, why is so much bad things happening despite the existence of God? Why does he seemingly care more about me?
Because we all have our own trials and tribulations and blah, 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 blah.
Than other people who are suffering around the world. Like, I prayed for my family and God delivered seemingly, but he's just ignoring the children in Gaza currently who are being indiscriminately bombed. If you go one step further in your thinking, it kind of all falls apart. But let's continue.
The border problem is a serious
Yeah, Mike,
problem.
you're trying to reason of heroin addict. I know. And he's also from Portland, too. Mike Figueredo's from Portland as well, so he should know what a heroin addict looks like. I mean, look, I know I was saying, Portland has got a little bullshit when it comes to, the drug crisis, but look, unfortunately, it's always kind of been a meme, and it still will be a meme, but, when in Portland, you're always going to find a heroin junkie somewhere. You're always going to find at least one or two of them out there. Out in your back, spend enough time in downtown Portland, you're going to find at least, a heroin junkie within, the first 30 minutes. And that was even before things are already, really bad. Things are bad, but, they're not over-exaggerated like, a lot of fucking conservatives think it is. But, like I said, it's always been kind of a meme. If it wasn't heroin, replace that with meth. I guess nowadays you could also replace that with fentanyl, too. But, either way, between those, unholy trifecta, unholy trinity of drugs, Portland's always been kind of known as a meme for that. At least since the 90s, especially. 90s was meth for sure. And then for a time it was heroin and meth a little bit. And now it's kind of all of the above. Meth, heroin, and fentanyl. It's kind of a mixture of all the above now at this point.
Dude, I think that soon it's going to be the Hunger Games type issue, you know what I mean? But
what would
type issue? What
you like to see happen down there?
I would like to see Trump get into office and eliminate the presidency. Simple as that. There shouldn't even be a president. Our company shouldn't be a corporation. Our country, my bad, shouldn't be a corporation. Simple as that. And there's a lot of evil people.
Our company should be a corporation. What? And then he Freudian slipped his realized it because he's probably in a meth-addled stupor right now. And saying that the country shouldn't be a corporation. Well, sure, but making it a fascistic dictatorship under one corporation that is Trump Inc. is not really going to help either. So I don't know. What? So you want the person to be president, not be the president? Yeah. There's also that, which is, because he wants them to be a fascistic dictator. He wants Trump to be the God Emperor, essentially. That's why. A lot of these Trump supporters, do really think that. So, that's the reason why. It's they want him to be elected president, and then become a dictator, afterwards by using executive power to basically decree it so. In a way, it's kind of like how Hitler got to power, right? He was elected as a chancellor, and then was able to become a dictator and a fascist, leader, to the country, due to that power. So it's it's, it is a form of, how fascism and dictatorship, takes power. It's at least one of the different routes to it.
Ruling this,
but he's running for the presidency. Doubtful he'll eliminate the presidency, right?
I hope he does. Because our forefathers didn't. They wanted as little government as possible for a reason.
What? You want a dictatorship so you can have as little government as... You want a fascist dictatorship so you can have as little government as possible? What? You want an authoritarian federalist government that has a dictator, so question mark, and still minimal... What? 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 What does that even... What? That doesn't even make sense! Guys should be shown as anti-drug PSA. Dude, he really should. He totally should, dude. Because this is a mindfuck of mindfucks, man. This is literally look, I'm just going to be honest, and this is the reason why I know, this guy's relapsed. Because this really does sound like the ramblings of someone who's high on meth. This guy's on meth right now. Yeah, he might have, gotten off of heroin, but his new, itch is meth. Straight up, dude. Like, I mean, you know, like that's why he has the Jeffrey Dahmer eyes, is because he's a fucking meth head, dude. He's tweaking on meth. Like, and unfortunately, like I was saying from earlier, Portland's kind of known for that, and I've had, like, sadly, unfortunately, both of my parents back in the 90s when they first met each other were kind of into that at the time. Before before I was born and pregnant with them, they got off of it, luckily. But there was a time where they were on it. My aunt that lives here as well also was, for way longer than they were. And I've known friends, that know people. I've seen people around. Like, I know what it looks like. I know exactly what the fuck it looks like. And this guy is on meth. This guy is fucking tweaking on meth, dude. Like, I know what the fuck signs are. I see what the hell it looks like. And honestly, that toxic fucking point in time where I kind of had that schizophrenic lady with my ex coworker friend that I'm still friends with, at least, but not her. But with those two, well, her especially, meth. That's kind of another element, that kind of, exacerbated that fucking her issues as well. And again, like, I know what the fucking signs are. I know what, tweaking on meth looks like, and this motherfucker's on it. This guy is on the meth, dude. Straight up. So think doing drugs is cool? Then just show this guy except in black and white. I know, dude, with just like some ominous music too. Boom, dun dun dun, dun 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 dun. Here's some ominous music, bro. I mean, dude, oh my god, man. Like, I'm all about, like, legalizing sex and regulating drugs and shit, but oh my god, I mean, this is the reason why, because, like, I mean, we gotta weed out the fucking toxic, deadly shit that makes people like this. Dude, oh my god. We gotta, like, do something, man, because holy shit. You a crackhead versus a meth head, no weapons. It takes a W. Me and a crackhead versus a meth head? Me and the crackhead, because I'll just let the crackhead and the meth head fight it out. And if the crackhead dies before the meth head, at least the meth head will be weakened and beaten down a little bit so I could finish it off. So, I think me and the crackhead would take the W. And I'm going to let the little brother take a W really quick, and I'll be right back and continue this, because, holy shit. I didn't realize this clip went longer, because Kyle didn't play the full clip of this guy. I didn't realize it went longer than it did, and I'm glad that we saw this to see the fuller, longer clip, because wow, it really explains a lot. It really explains a lot. Like, holy shit, son. Hey, little pup. Oh my goodness, I got a little tail wag. Tail wagging so much, you're booty wagging. Oh my gosh. Little doggy twerks. Little doggy twerks. Oh my goodness. Oh. Picking him up. Or, you're flopping on the ground instead. That works too. So cute. this. Alright, how am I going to navigate with this big chubugabunga? Now we have a guest. There we go. You big chubunga. The crackhead. This guy. Hunter Biden. Oh, dude. Easy W. Oh, easy dub. Easy dub. Oh, dude. Easy dub.
It's because the government's bad, man.
And so the very first day, if Trump were to win again, would you? What's the first thing you'd like to see him do?
I think because of everything that's going on, there's even if Trump wins, things are going to be bad no matter what.
Do an anti-drug program. If you complete rehab, you get a dog or a cat. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Or a capybara. If your state legally allows it.
There's a certain family and there's a certain higher-ups that control our country. And
Which family is that?
The Rothschilds, the fucking...
The Rothschilds. That's my, like... Dude, we got an Alex Jonesian dude. Like, a guy of the Alex Jonesian fucking grift, dude. I love it. Oh, no, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, the fucking goddamn, Clintons and shit. Imagine being alive. This guy, I know, dude. That's my feeling. Dude, we could literally just, like a Twitter meme, just, like, zoom in on that, just be like, bro. We could literally just, like, have that screen. We could just have this screen capped, and right above his forehead, just literally simply say, bruh. And it'd be a meme. Perfect meme.
It's the bankers, bro.
Here we go.
Here we go.
In banking
Here we go.
Whatsoever. A vision and what we are living right now it's not that vision whatsoever. I'm a constitutionalist. This is a constitutional republic. We're not a democracy.
Which includes the presidency too, which you want to get rid of. So, are you really sure about that there, bucko?
People who think that we're a democracy.
Hey, dum-dum. Wait, let me just let him finish.
Democracy are idiots.
Okay. You are an idiot, okay? Democracy is an umbrella term, okay? It's a very broad category, and within that umbrella is constitutional republic. There are various types of democracy. It's like saying, well, we're a president.
My great thing is, great. Do I really want to keep doing this for a living? I know, dude.
System, and anyone from a parliamentary system that thinks they're a democracy is an idiot. There are different types of democracy, okay? So don't be so arrogant about things you know nothing about, you dumb bitch.
I mean, they're completely... They don't know their history. They don't read into... And they hide half of it from us. You know what I mean? Our history books don't teach us what really happened.
Who's hiding history right now? Oh my god, this...
I mean, the who and the they and the thems and all that in between are pretty much like the Jews, essentially. I'm pretty sure that is exactly who he's referring to. Like, this, like, methed out ex-heroin tweaker fuck is just, like, basically, gone into schizo-conspiratorial mode, dude. Like, that's essentially like who it is. I know it's a lot of the leftist YouTube commentators. It's staring at... Oh, dude, it really is staring into the abyss look. I mean, lefties have always kind of had this, like, disgruntled look with them, to an extent. But, dude, that whole, like... staring into the abyss. I can't really do it right now because I got this baby in my lap. It was kind of being annoying, but still a little baby on my lap. Like, I mean, I have at least a little outlet right here, but like, yeah, that stare into the abyss of just like, what is reality? Just that look. I mean, I was doing. We were out. We were doing it earlier. I mean, that's for sure. Like, I was having that like the fuck, type of like, what am I doing with my life look. I mean, so certainly, there. That's for sure. What? Me. What the fuck? Oh my god, you big flop. You are a flop ball. Ball flop. That's what you are. Look at all this. Look at all that. Look at all this and that. Oh my gosh. Oh. Did you... Okay, well, you're putting all your weight on my lungs. That's great. Well, I'm probably not even on screen, but...
How frustrating, you see what I mean? Who's hiding history right now? Oh my god.
In this country. I mean, come on.
What's
now.
being omitted from history books that you'd like to see back in the
Jesus.
books?
I was going to say Jesus.
Our actual history instead of incorporated.
Our actual history. What does that even mean?
Our actual history. What does that even mean? See, it's like, it's just...
I swear to... Wait, wait, what the fuck? Mike, stop copying me. Stop copying me! There's literally... In every objective particle of the universe, there's no way I could have pre-watched this. Because, like... This is early access. This is not even, like, I mean... It's gonna be public for people tomorrow. Like, I mean, so I'm just like, what? How? Wait. He just said, like, that was verbatim. What? Mike, I don't like that. Stop copying me. Ooh. Oh my god. God, you big butt. You're a big old butt.
Oh, there's the dog.
And he's on my lap. Hey, you want him? There you go.
Oh, jeez. Okay. After the cat, this is going to be a...
Okay, well, okay. Maybe you should pick him up. He's way too heavy. Oh, God, you knocked over every can. Oh my god, and my coffee for tomorrow. Of course,
Yes,
you knocked
it
it
is.
over. Oh my lord, dog, you are a battery ram.
Yes. Ow.
Don't hurt yourself trying to touch a doggo.
I just hurt myself touching anything after dealing with that damn cat.
What if Mike appeared in the video next day with a dog? Huh, Lewis, look off, and then you look over and you see he's gone.
He ripped the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah, there's even more damage going on there. How? Yeah, he fucked you up. Ouch. Oof.
Not as bad as he fucked himself up. But
Well, still. Poor kitty. Damn. Good kitty, but a poor kitty at the same time.
So he didn't rip himself apart, but well, he ripped me apart.
Fucking word vomit. It's really difficult to...
Damn, Mike, give me back my dog. Well, we do live in the same city, so it's only a matter of time before I'd find him again. I can recognize his, gay, lesbian, lumberjack, trade union manager at a work site, fucking fit, when I can see it. I can recognize it. Especially if how nerdy his ass is. Yeah, I can recognize that shit when I see it.
To try to find a way to win people back who are operating on a different plane of reality than you, right? There's not just...
Gaydar. It's very hard to do that when a lot of people in Portland tend to be pretty gay. It's kind of hard. So I'm just going to have to do it based off of aesthetic. I recognize enough of Mike's fit, so I can at least go off of that. I recognize the glasses. I kind of recognize the hair and the beard and shit. I just have to kind of pinpoint that, to someone else out there in the field. You know what I'm saying? So the gaydar wouldn't work in Portland, unfortunately. There's a lot of queer, trans, gay, lesbian motherfuckers out here that it unfortunately wouldn't work. It's like a spider sense, except with queer people. It is, but sometimes when you got such an overload going on, it kind of gets hard to really pinpoint it on the radar because you got like so many blotches on the radar screen. It kind of gets hard to pinpoint and navigate, right? Like, so, I mean, sometimes it might be hard a little bit unless you're really narrowing it down, but you have to kind of do that one-on-one to do that, you know, but like if you're out there trying to observe, you know, like, you know, it's like, you know, you like it gets a little hard, you know what I'm saying? So it gets a little tricky once you're out there in the forest, you know what I'm saying? Got it. Trying to find Mike, but for some reason I can't end up at a Republican rally. I know. Oh my god. For real, dude. True.
The Trump delusional component, but there's also this fundamentalist Christianity that's involved as well that, you know, makes them kind of not have much of a regard for the country and the world because, well, everyone's going to go to a better place soon. Jesus is going to come back soon. So if everything goes to shit here, it doesn't matter because it's only a matter of time before he swoops down on the white horse and rescues us and takes us all to heaven. So when you're
excuse me, Mike, it would be a flying donkey
on that plane, it's hard to get them to care about this life, right? It's hard to get them to care about the country and other people, assuming they're correct and Jesus is going to come and like drown us all soon. Maybe until he drowns all of us. What if we had universal health care and free public education? There's no substance here. There's no concern at all for policy. It's just like these weird amorphous grievances swirling around in their head based on things that they've heard, based on memes, based on conspiracy theories, based on anti-Semitism.
Based off of religion.
And they somehow try to mold some political views out of that. And then how that takes shape is just like grievance, stupidity politics. And
Alex Jonesian level politics at this point.
How do you win these people over? I think the answer is you can't. They are too far gone. So,
you know, out of all these conspiratorial fuckheads, you know who hasn't really, you know, like kind of popped up as a name recently? Nick Fuentes. I mean, like, is he conjuring something up? Because I feel like, you know, he's going to make the, like, you know, the, you know, news waves again. And the next time he does, it ain't going to be good. Because why haven't we heard of him in a minute? Like, there ain't no way he just had his 15 minutes of fame and that's it. Like, you know, that motherfucker's conjuring something up, dude. Like, he's gonna, like, pop up something and it's not gonna be good and it's gonna be disgusting and we're all gonna hate it. That's what I don't get. What makes him think I will be happy to see him? Be like wrecking your parents' house and then expecting them to buy you a car. I know. I mean, because... I like, especially considering how vengeful, spiteful, and you know, vindicative, you know, like or not vindicative, like vindictive, you know, God is, especially in the Bible, not just in the New Testament, but even in, or not just in the Old Testament, but even in the New. So it's like, I mean, it's like, how in the fuck do you think, you know, your good luxury God is gonna, like, look at you being like, yes, you're a perfect candidate to be here in heaven? It's like, no. They're going straight to fucking hell, well, where, frankly, you belong, but I don't want you to ruin my fucking vibe, you know, when I'm down there partying it up with all the fucking degenerates, you know, so, you know, we'll make a unique hell just for all you motherfuckers. We'll create, you know, a subsect of hell where y'all can belong. So, fuck you.
What do you do with this knowledge? I've asked this question before and I still don't have an answer for it. How do you go forward as a country? You know, when you have a section of the population that is completely detached from reality.
Oh my God, it sounds like you just like fucking recovered from getting exploded by a landmine over a cat. Like, goddamn, bro.
I don't know. I don't think there's a good answer. I don't think anyone can really answer that question. One of the Trump supporters said, the way we go forward is with policy. But these people have proven...
Yeah, boy, yourself by the bootstraps there, boy.
Kitties knew how
They
to
actually...
inspire. Unfortunately, it's hard to get them out of it.
Don't get out of the ice spot. That's the problem. Pull shut by bootstraps said pulling the kitty out of his high spot there, boy.
They don't give a flying fuck about policy, okay? You can poll Americans every single day, and they will signal...
Yeah, like I was going to say that.
Support for the...
Why can't we get in heaven? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the way you royal fucked up the plan I made for you. Go back and clean that shit up.
Most progressive
policy. No, how about not? Don't make them come back to clean shit up. No, I don't want that.
but when push comes to shove, they look.
Sounds like an awesome way to end a zombie movie. Zombies, people got raptured, but got sent back to make them clean the earth first. Oh fuck, dude. You know that? Yeah, you're actually kind of right. You know, I'll give you that one.
It's their own self-interest. And I get that options are limited in the United States because we have a two-party system with a first-past-the-post, winner-take-all fucking electoral system that fucks us all. But still, out of every single politician, you can't say that there hasn't been options that have been given to you. And every single time, they opt for the fuckheads over the ones who are progressive. So you don't support policy. So if you can't win them with policy, you can't win them over with facts. How do you win them over? Maybe
dazzle them bullshit. And, you know, I kind of like to take the principle of, like, dazzle them bullshit, but sprinkle, you know, the policy in there with it. I don't know, like, I mean, because, like, there's, you can at least bleed out some of the motherfuckers with that, I guess. I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't think, you know, every single, like, minutia of these motherfuckers is, you know, totally, like, completely, like, TFG, but holy fuck, are there a fuckload of them? I mean, but, you know, I think, you know, there can be some that can be bleeded out away from that and potentially redeemed because it's not, like, an impossible thing. I mean, there are people, like, even actually, like, you know, kind of, like, liberal / like, kind of lefty-leaning content creators that, you know, have, like, you know, are part of this example, too. Like, Hunter Avallone, for example. Like, that, you know, can, you know, potentially have that, like, redemption arc, right? Like, so, I mean, it's not impossible, but you know, because, like, for every person that kind of gets bleed away from that type of shit and kind of gets picked away and shipped out, you know, maybe every now and then you might get the Hunter Avallone. You might get, like, you know, somebody like that, you know, in the midst of all that shit. And that is just, you know, another voice of the influence to be like, hey, here's how, you know, you can get out of this shit. And here's, you know, the better way and blah, you know, and all that shit, you know, the whole shebang. Like, you know, so it's something to at least fucking try with, because at the very least, you know, even if you don't get someone directly, I mean, indirectly in the kind of longer term, you're going to kind of, you know, chip at, you know, some of these side people. And good burp. Good old belly burp. But like, you know, because every now and then with that, you're going to get, like, you know, a Xander Hall or, like, you know, a Hunter Avallone or, like, you know, these, you know, like, I left the right types, you know, and, you know, instead of I left the left types and shit that come out. And, you know, and it's certainly better than nothing, you know, even with the flaws they may have, right? So it's like, I mean, I'd rather have that than more I left the left bullshit. So, you know, it's like, I mean, it's not like it's impossible, but it definitely needs to be something that, you know, grows more of a trend. But the only way to really do that is to kind of do some contact theory type of shit. And kind of, like, start talking with some of these people. Because, yeah, frankly, arguably, a good chunk of these motherfuckers are probably not going to be convertible. But, you know, there's at least going to be, you know, some that likely are. I mean, you know, but you don't really know that unless you actually talk with some of these people. I mean, you won't really know unless you do. I mean, there is the whole, like, don't judge a book by its cover, right? I mean, so it's like, I mean, you don't really totally know if, you know, like, someone's a complete TFG right-wing crazy chucklefuck, or if they just happen to be ignorant and just don't know better and just were sold down the river with Cinco bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, so you never really know unless you talk with someone. You know, just like talk with those side people. And yeah, chances are, depending on where you live and depending on the demographic of your area and shit, you might find a lot more of those motherfuckers, and in the other cases, you might not. Just depends. All I'm going to say, between trash pollution and the fact that we don't have access to our usual technology, a few centuries. Oh. Man, if only God was kind of like that, being like, oh yeah, you fucked up the planet, so you know, you go back and get, you know, fucking, you know, reincarnated as something else, you know, to fucking fix the planet with. You get to be a cockroach to help clean up the planet and the trash. It's like, oh. Well, that sucks.
So the question is, how do we go forward as a country? And that is the $1 million question, because I genuinely do not know, and I don't think that anyone is going to know ever. Because you saw, pretty detached from reality, living in their own universe. I mean, goddamn.
Goddamn is right. Gad, make fuck damn. Oh, Dios mío. I like how the very few comments that are on here so far is one of them says, I've lost self-hope. Aye. Man. This kind of where the optimist part of me comes in. Because, like, I'm trying to kind of, like, beat down my own pessimism when I see other lefties like that. And it's like, man, motherfucker. It's like, don't be like that. Stop it. Don't do that shit. So, gets my grill a little bit. Boot in an naysayer, I say. But, I know I've probably been going on for like how fucking long, honestly. I mean, with the last stream being chuck-fucky. I'm sure that. Oh, Jesus, I was loud as hell. About 2 hours. Oh, so a little over 4 hours basically all together. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I say that's, a good amount of time. I tell you what, there. So, I guess if all that means. I guess if all that being said, I get myself some food, get Zukov and I a bath. Mostly him. I already had one earlier this week, but his ass definitely needs it. And I'm definitely going to need one after I clean his ass up, so. Gonna make sure of that. And we'll have a little cop stream before work and all that stuff. And hey, hopefully I have an update when it comes to the phone call, because I have it at least scheduled before, I do my little stream of Romies when I, before I go to work. So hopefully there should be some good news with all that. So, anyway, I'll be out, everybody. And of course, I'll see y'all on the next one. So, a toodaloo, buckaroos. Bow, 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 bow.